Good morning, children. Today we are going to start English literature with poem number 8, The Patriot. This PPT is prepared by Mrs. Ashima Vanchu. So first of all, we'll study about the poet of this poem. The poet name is Robert Browning. Robert Browning was an English poet and playwright. He was born on May 7, 1812 in Camberwell, near London. He had his little of formal education but learned a great deal in his father's substantial library. He has a mastery of dramatic monologues, which made him one of the foremost Victorian poets. His poems are known for his irony, characterization, dark humor, social commentary, historical settings, and challenging vocabulary and syntax. He has been gifted with a very wonderful insight, sympathy, extraordinary power of observation, and a keen psychological penetration. He builds up the character from within, not merely to depict them from without. This poem is a dramatic monologue. In this poem, the speaker recalls his heroic achievement a year ago, but just after a year he has fallen in esteem. He is arrested and is being led to the gallows. The patriot believes that the god will certainly do justice to him. In this poem, Browning talks about the politics, patriotism, a religious faith, and the harsh reality of the leaders who are true to their sense of patriotism. It speaks about the sacrifice of such leaders who are misunderstood by the people. The speaker of the poem is a patriot. This poem is a monologue of the patriot. In this poem, the patriot, who is the speaker of this poem, he narrates his own tale, that how he has been taken to the scaffold to be executed publicly for his misdeed. Scaffold is a platform where a person hanged till death. He tells us his situation, that how once he was well loved by everyone, but now how he is despised by the same people. The patriot is innocent of having done any misdeed, and it is only out of the misunderstanding of the people that he is being put to death. His death sentence is for the wrong reason, and although he has tried to persuade the people to listen to him, that it has done him no good. This poem is a harsh critique on the public sentiment and morality. It stresses on the point that not all decisions made or supported by the people are the right decision. Means whatever we are deciding, sometimes we feel, means sometimes when we are speaking something we feel from our point of view it is correct, but the things are actually not correct. So in this poem you will realize that sometimes the morality or the public sentiments which public is actually showing, and according to that if they are giving the decision, is actually not correct. This poem is having a sense of universality to it, as history has witnessed the rise and the fall of many such patriots throughout its course. It's a grim reminder that the life is uncertain. One day that particular is a hero, and another day that same is become a villain. So this poem is a best example for this, that in this poem you will realize, even in the history, or it is the sense of universality, that the one who has rise once, one day he would surely get the fall, because the life is uncertain. You never know what is going to be happen next. Maybe today you have been a hero, you have won something, but one day maybe you will be defeated by someone, or maybe you will be you will be the loser. Now let us have a look on the form and the structure of the poem. This poem, The Patriot, has a very curious structure of 6 stanzas of 5 lines each. The length of the maturity of lines is 9 syllables, with a very few going a syllable or the two beyond that mark. Instead of the meter, the musical quality is achieved by a very careful placement of the words. This poem has a very clear rhyming scheme, that is A, B, A, B, A. Rhyming scheme, as when you read the poem, the first line, it was roses, roses all the way. The last word, way, A sound is coming. So there you will give one alphabet, that is A. Then in the second line, with Myrtle mixed in my path like mad, another sound comes out, that is mad. So another sound is there, so we'll give it B. When you will read the third and the fourth line, like the house roof seemed to heave and sway, sway, the same sound like way. So here we will give another, the same alphabet like A, the number which we have given to the line number 1, and the last word of the fourth line is had, which is similar as mad. So when you read the entire poem, like the further few lines you will read, you will find out that yes, in each line, the last word, if you will see, it resembles like 1, 3 and 5, the odd numbers of the line. There we have given A, and the even number of the line, that is third, fourth and second, we have given B. So this is being carried and maintained throughout the stanzas of the poem. As with any good poem which is a definitive rhyme, we can have a very prodigal use of assonance and consonance. Now the consonance. Consonance is the repetition of the consonant sounds. Like it is a stylistic literary device in which we can identify that the repetition of the identical, or you can say the similar consonants in the neighboring words whose vowel sounds are different. So, and assonance is the counterpart of it, like the vowel sound repetition is known as assonance. So in this poem also we can feel that yes, it is a very beautiful usage of assonance and consonance. In the first 2 stanzas, as the poem introduced the conditions of the past. Like in this poem, when you will read the first 2 stanzas, in the first 2 stanzas, the patriot, who is the narrator here, has recalled his past. And the third stanza, where the poet reveals that how and why the conditions has been changed, that too against him. And in the 4th and 5th stanza, that is contrast to the past with the present situation, means after 1 year on the same day. And in the last stanza, that is the 6th stanza, you will realize that yes, the poet has accepted his condition and shown an expression of his hope. So this poem ends with an optimistic note where he says that everything is in the hands of God. So the God will do the justice to him. It can be seen that the poem follows an orderly sequence of a story, where the condition of a past are told, the impetus for the change is discussed, the present state is shown, and a final conclusion is drawn on all the things as a whole. Means in the past something has done, then the situation has been changed, and a little later whatever has happened, what final discussion has come out due to that is being described in this. Now the impetus meaning, impetus is like something that encourages someone to do something and something else has happened. Clear? Something that encourages something else to happen. So here also past was something else, now the time has been changed, he has done something else, and now the final conclusion is something which he cannot even imagine. So now we are going to start with the Patriot, written by Robert Browning, the first stanza. It was roses, roses all the way, with myrrh mixed in my path like mad. The house roof seemed to heave and sway, the church spires flamed, such flags they had a year ago on this very day. So in this poem, now the poet is speaking about, and he is recalling that how he was welcomed 1 year before when he came back after his grand victory. Actually, this poem is all about a war, and although the poet has not mentioned that for which war he is talking about and for which victory he is been describing, but as he has written this poetry, so that time in Italy, some premature struggle to free herself from Austria. So many of the heroic achievements have taken place that time. So that heroic achievement which that patriot had earned a year before, but now what or how he is been rewarded, means 1 year before how he was being rewarded just because of that, and after 1 year how he has fallen in esteem. So all these things he is being recalling. So it was roses and roses all the way. So earlier 1 year before, on the same day, the poet was welcomed in that grand way, like the grand public welcome was given to him. How? That everywhere they were showering roses and roses. Means like if your favorite actor or favorite person comes, so we people also be happy, no? And if in the earlier times, so they used to shower the flowers, so that now we spread the red carpet for them. But that time in the past, they used to shower the rose petals and the other myrtle mixed flowers. Means please note down, the myrtles are the type of a small tree that has a sweet smelling flower, that is white or pink colored flowers. So different colors flowers along with the rose petals, they were showering on the path of the patriot, and he is recalling his past and he is building a picture for the readers that how he has remembered that as the way he was walking on the path, every path wherever he steps was filled with lots and lots of rose petals. Along with the rose petals, there were a very beautiful pink and white smelled flowers. The house roof seemed to heave and sway. Heave means, you can please note down, the heaving is that pushing each other in a very strong manner, pushing and pulling or moving up and down. So here, like to lift, pull or throw someone with a very great effort, like as it was a very heavy crowd, no, so they were pushing each other and they were swaying, they were moving gently from one side to another, just to show their madness, that yes, they are quite happy because the patriot has won the battle. The church spires flamed, such flags they had. Church spires are the church tower, because that time, when means in, if you will see the old cathedrals, no, or some kind of same buildings, so whenever any victory has come or any celebration they have, they put some flaming flags on it. So the people were overwhelmingly delighted to greet their hero, who is a patriot, and they were very enthusiastic to see him as he passed by. As soon he was crossing the path, they were so happy and they were showing their love and blessings in this way, like they were showering roses, other petals, other flowers, they were heaving and swaying, and they were creating a particular scene, like it is a kind of celebration that yes, he has won, he had got a victory in the war. And then he remembers that this all things, this grandiose or this welcome was happened a year ago on this very day. Means when 1 year before, after winning the battle, he came back, this way the people were welcoming him. But now the year has gone and the time also has been changed. So obviously it is quite logical if we'll feel that yes, if something is good, the grand celebration is there. So here also it has been the victory of a war or fighting someone with, and to that he has won that. Maybe it can be a election of an office, or maybe he has been nominated as a ruler. So the whatever our common thinking is, accordingly the people are behaving, they are happy and they feel that the patriot is the hero for them. So likewise, like in the first stanza, the grand welcome was done to the patriot. In the second stanza also, the grand welcome has taken place to the patriot. Now he is talking about the whole atmosphere which is being resounded with the church bells which were rung in the honor of the hero. As he says, the air broke into a mist with bells. Like he is narrating the same story in the way, like a year ago what has happened. He is describing that when the people were showering roses and the other things on him, that time the people were actually rejoicing, and to show their rejoice they were ringing the bells, and due to the church bells which they were rung in the honor of the hero, the entire atmosphere was resounded. And this all happened a year before. The old walls rocked with the crowd and cries. Even the crowd surged with joy. The patriot appreciated that the enthusiasm of the people. Like the old walls, even the walls which were there, means since old structures were there, they were also cheering for the patriot with their cries rocking the walls. Means they were shouting, they were howling to make him feel that yes, he has won the battle, and they are quite happy. Even the rock walls, means the walls which were made up of rocks, even they were also can feel it that yes, patriot is being cheering by the people for his victory. Had I said, good folk mere noise repels. Even if that time I had demanded from them something that is impossible, but give me your son from yonder sky, because he says no, that is a very difficult task to be done, means no one can go to sun and bring it on the earth. So he is telling that even if he had demanded from them that is impossible act like the sun from the sky, they would also have granted him. They had answered, and afterward what else? And they would have asked him that what else he desired. So it was such kind of time just a year before. Means he wants to say that even that time, if he tell them to bring the sun down for him, they were so enthusiastic that they can even do the impossible, that task which is actually impossible, like to bring down the sun on earth. But if he do such kind of act that time they will do that. But he says little later, after doing that impossible task also, they will ask him surely that what else the patriot wants. So in this we can see the exuberance of the people at the sight of the patriot. And the poet is trying to establish the kind of popularity which the speaker had through this stanza. So in this stanza also, here we can see that how popular, how loving that person, that patriot is for the people who were there that time cheering for the patriot, as now he has won the battle. Now in this poet, the third stanza, the patriot says about that how he tried to do every impossible act for the pleasure of his admirers. To that he says, alack, it was I. He is so sad now that it was I who leaped at the sun. Why? To give it to my loving friends to keep. To do that act for my loving acts, so that loving friends, so that they can keep it. Here actually he is giving a reference which is a old Greek mythological story about Icarus and Daedalus. In this story, Icarus was the son of the great inventor Daedalus, and the story revolves around the escape of these two men from the high tower where they were held prisoners by making wings out of a bird's feathers and wax. Icarus, taken aback with the ability of flight, flies too close to the sun, which causes the wax in his wings melt and his eventual fall, which kills him. So just like Icarus, the speaker admits that he was also over ambitious and leaped at the sun. He gave the sun to his loving friends to keep. It suggests that this action somehow caused the death of his close friends. Here again we can hypothesize that the patriot is talking about some battle that claimed the life of the dear ones. So here also in the line he says no, that it was I who leaped at the sun. So he is comparing himself with Icarus, like it was I to save myself, or in the fight when we were there in the battle, I did every task. So while doing the task, just to show the over ambitious that I want to do all the things for my loving friends, I leaped towards the sun. Means I went so close to the sun. Maybe that was the reason of the death for his close friend, and that is why he is telling that I was the one who did everything for in a positive way, but somehow this happened or in a way that it turns into a misdeed. Not men could do have I left undone. There is no one. Not men and nothing man means no one can. No other person can do which I have left undone. That task which I have left like undone. And you see my harvest, what I reap. But here you see what I have done. and what I reap and what I am getting out of it. What I reap, मैंने क्या किया, and now what I have received due to this act. So he is telling here, but what, no other countryman could do anything which he has done, but what reward had I got? Is this the reward he is getting from the people? This very day now a year is run. The same day when the year has been passed. Means I have done my best. I have done everything for saving the country people, everything for saving my friends. But if something misdeed has happened, then is this the way I am going to get the reward? So now he is actually conveying that the word by using the term harvest and reap, which is a common metaphor for karma. That is, that he is facing what he is actually not facing what he truly deserves, but he says at the end that whatever I have done, I did for the best, but now whatever I am getting out of it, actually I do not deserve it. So here he ends his flashback, that whatever he was thinking about his. Now in the fourth stanza, he returns to the present and talks about what he sees. Now he says there is nobody on the housetops now, just a palsied few at the window set. Now he turns back and he returns to the present and talks about what he sees, and he is describing the present setting and in a way of contrast to it with the one on the same day a year ago. Now he has been convicted and is being led to the gallows to be put to death. Now he is telling there is no one at the housetops, means on the house roofs now nobody is there, only a palsied few. Palsied, you can note down, palsied people are some people who are affected with palsy, that is a medical condition that makes one's body or any part to shake uncontrollably. So only a few people are there, that too on the windows, at the window set only, and those people are the palsied people. For the best of the sight is all allowed, because now he can feel that there everybody, just to get the best sight, they all have gone to the Shambles Gate. Shambles Gate is the place where people would gather to watch the public hanging, where he was about to hang till death. So everybody has gathered there, or better yet by the scaffold's very foot. Scaffold is that particular platform on which the criminal are punished by hanging. So everybody is standing close to the Shambles Gate or the gate of the gallows to see him die. So people wanted to be there where the action is. So speaker further makes, that is a heart-touching comment, that the best sight is at the gate of the slaughterhouse or at the very foot of the scaffold. Means when 1 year before he came back from the war after winning that battle, everybody was standing at the home, at the housetop, and they were heaving and swaying there. They were showering the roses and other things from their housetops only. They were welcoming him from the house only. But now, just to get the best scene, just to get the best view, they all have been gathered there where he was about to hang till death. So this particular word, that is the best sight, is quite heart touching, because it is very difficult to see someone die. But here he says that the people are so curious to see my death, as now I am going to hang till death on the scaffold or at the Shambles Gate. Now in the continuation of the previous one, here further describes the speaker's humiliation at the hands of the people. Like poet says, no, I go in the rain and more than needs, a rope cuts my wrist behind. So here the poet has described the patriot's condition. Like now the patriot is being led to the scaffold in the rain, means heavy rain is going on, and a long rope has been used to tie up his hands tightly on his back. And the rope is quite tight that it cuts both his hands. He feels, as he says, that I think by the feel, that the poet feels, of my forehead bleeds, that he feels that his forehead is bleeding, the blood is oozing out from his forehead. For they fling whoever has a mind, because maybe any one of the people gathering has throwing the stones at him, which has caused this injury to his forehead. And now he is remembering that 1 year before these same people were there who were throwing the flowers on me, but now these petals of roses, which earlier were the flowers, now they have been replaced by the stones. So now he says that the people who are throwing stones are the ones who have an active mind and are aware of his misdeed. Means earlier when they were aware that what he has done, they were showering as it was a good act that time, but now after 1 year they are all aware with the misdeed which he has done. So the speaker doesn't seem to be angry with these people of throwing stones at him. It suggests that despite the treatment he is receiving, he does not blame the people. He knows that they have misunderstood him. So somehow he has a feel that the people who are hurling stone at him, although the same people were welcoming him with some roses and the other petals, but somehow they all have known the resentment for the so-called misdeed which they have, means the patriot has done during the year. So basically it is an ironic that they have completely forgotten his good deeds, but still this patriot is feeling that I do not want to blame these people because they are misunderstanding him. So now in the last stanza, thus I entered and thus I go. In trumps people have dropped down dead, paid by the word, what dost thou owe? Me God might question, and now instead this God shall repay, I am safer so. So as the patriot entered his city amid great rejoicing and honor, now he was leaving it in great humiliation and insult. He feels that if he had died a year ago, some people actually collapse in excess of joy. God would not have cared for him. But now, when he had not been rewarded by the people, he was certain to be rewarded in the heaven. He feels like I am safe in the bosom of God. So, even in intense defeat, he found that something is there which can console himself with. This poem, in the last stanza, it reflects about the patriot's death. This is full of philosophical and religious ideas. Like, thus I entered and thus I go, means the patriot says that his entry and his exit of life, position and people's mind, in the presence of so many others, sums up that the speaker's life well. He says when he has won, people have dropped him down dead. It suggests that he looks at his predicament as victory. He believes that he stood by the right things, and that is why he considers himself victorious in defeat. The final three lines of the stanza, paid by the word what dost thou owe, me God might question now instead, this God shall repay, I am safer. So these lines deal with the ideas of the speaker. Yet again we can see that Browning is having a very religious belief. He believes that the God might say, your sins were already washed away when you are died. The people saw to it. They punished you. What now do you expect from me? You are now free from all corruption. Thus, the patriot thinks that the punishment he has got in the mortal world has purged him. And he hopes to go to heaven instead of hell. He feels safer knowing that God knows he stood for what he taught was right, and so he'll be safe under him. In a conclusive note, we must remember that it is not possible to establish the innocence of the patriot in the poem. On one hand, the speaker himself admitting that he did some misdeeds, whilst on the other hand, we can see the patriot as the one who has mistaken. At least the title suggests it. It might be so that he is guilty of something he did, which he thought were right. It might even be so that he is truly innocent and is simply put to death because the people wish so. However, the poem ends on a note of optimism with Browning's own philosophy. God's in his heaven and all's right with the world, means the God is there in heaven and everything is going to be right with his word. The patriot believes that it is a God who will reward him according to his true merit, means according to him he has done nothing wrong. Whatever was possible he had done to save the others. So he is trying to conclude this poem in an optimistic note that he will get the reward whenever he'll be died and he'll go to God. The title of the poem, The Patriot, is quite suitable and very much appropriate because the focus remains on the plight of the patriot. The patriot reveals in his monologue about his glorious day a year ago when he was being welcomed, glorified and hailed as a hero. In a sharp contrast with today when he is being arrested, bound by a rope, and now his forehead is also bleeding because some people have thrown stones at him and they have been hurled at him by those people only who had earlier welcomed him as a hero. This poem has a subtitle. That subtitle is The Patriot, an Old Story, which underlines the fact that the situation depicted in this poem in actuality has a universal implication. This poem is all about the rise and the fall of the leaders in every country. In this poem, the patriot has given some clues in his own expressions when he says, "Naught men could do have I left undone, and you see my harvest what I reap." So here he has said, I have left nothing which was undone and possible to be done by any common people. So here he wants to emphasize that he has done nothing wrong. Rather, he is being misjudged and wrongly punished by his good deeds. And in the last poem, he says, "This God shall repay, I am safer so." So here, with an optimistic thought, he sticks to his stand that he has done everything good for the people. So surely God will reward him in the heaven So he is a true patriot in his own assessment. So let us have a look on the theme of the poem. The most important theme of this poem is the fickle-mindedness of the people. As we can see in this poem, that people are not steadfast in their opinions. They are whimsical. All these things are shown in the poem The Patriot. Like, the patriot was welcomed as a hero when, before 1 year, he had a grand victory. The people were ready to do anything for him. They were showering roses, petals, they were ringing church bells, and even they were ready to do anything, whatever he asked to do. But just after a year, his good deeds are forgotten. Just because of some misdeeds, he is being arrested and now harshly treated. He is led to the scaffold to be executed. People hurl stones at him. This is perhaps the irony of life. One who goes up, surely he will come down sooner or later. So this theme shows a very fickle-mindedness of the people. At the end we have seen a spirit of optimism. Like in the poem, he tried to achieve the impossible for the pleasure of the people. He was welcomed as a hero, but in the last stanzas we can see, just because of some misdeed, now he has turned him into a criminal in the eyes of the same people. Now he is feeling betrayed and abandoned. But in the hour of defeat and extreme sorrow, he achieves a moral victory. He feels that he has not been rewarded for his services on the earth, but surely God would care for him. He will be rewarded there by God. Now betrayed and deserted by the people, he hopes he would be rewarded in heaven. So he feels safe in the bosoms of hand. His faith in God being a true judge marks his unbounded sense of optimism. First stanza, it begins with the descriptions of the patriot's arrival. When he was being welcomed by the townspeople, his path was completely laden with roses and fragrant flowers. People are clambered on their rooftops. The past tense is used in the first stanza just to create a retrospective narrative. He has recalled his past, but in the next stanza he mentions that yes, that is an evidence to my victory that everybody was ringing the church bells. But at last, in the last stanza, he is somehow feeling sad that just because of some misdeed, these people who welcomed him as a hero now treating him as a villain. But with an optimistic thought, he says that at least after getting death, I'll be in safe hands. I'll be in heaven. And their God will give me the reward for what I have done to save the country people. But the patriot is shown as a man who values permanence more than temporary glory. As when he says that God is there, he would give me reward. So he is not bothered about that what these country fellow are doing to him right now, as they were throwing the stones at him. So he was not bothered, but only he was happy with the thought that when I'll be died, surely God will give me a reward. So this is reflected in his asking the town people to fetch him the sun, as it is the ultimate symbol of power, glory and immortality. So all these things we can feel, we can read in this poem, that how a person can be an optimistic one. How it is being reflected that when he says to people to fetch the sun down, so it all shows that yes, the ultimate symbol of the power, glory and immortality. As this poem, The Patriot, the poet has used the dramatic monologue form, in which he has described this poem in a story manner. Another poetic devices he has used, as it is a kind of misconception, like pathetic fallacy. Like when the poet says, I go in the rain. So here he has used rain as a symbol of number of things, where the people get wet by the rain. Same way the patriot also was getting wet in that rain, as a symbol he is losing his dignity. Also it can be viewed that the rain washes him clean and representing his innocence. This rain the poet has used to create a tense atmosphere, as this time the patriot was taken to scaffold so that he can hang till death there. Apart from this, the poet has used alliteration to give rhythm and rhyme to this poem. Like he has used roses and roses, myrtle mixed, crowd and cries, drop down dead. So in all these lines he has used alliteration, as alliteration is where in the line we are repeating a particular consonant sound. So in these lines he has used R, means roses and roses are there, myrtle mixed M, and likewise other examples are also given. He has used metaphor also, as the use of roses in the first stanza has been to symbolize people's love and affection towards him. Glory, power, immortality, all these things are also metaphorized as the sun. He asks the man for the sun, as it is the ultimate symbol of power. And in the line, and you see my harvest what I reap, the patriot's deed have been referred to as harvest, and the consequences have been metaphorized as reaping. To add the beauty to this poem, the poet has used personification. As in the line, the house roofs seem to heave and sway. The roofs of the houses have been given the human characteristics of heaving and swaying. This has been done to refer the crowd on the roofs and their frenzy on seeing the patriot, which is causing them to clamber over each other and give an impression of swaying. As while reading we can feel the poem, so that is only the effect of using imagery. As the poem begins with an image of the past, where the patriot is being welcomed back to his town with paths laden with roses and other beautiful fragrant flowers. The use of roses project a positive picture as they symbolizes love. The heaving rooftops are evidence to the fact that the town is very cluttered and a crowded one. They create a contrast between the past and the present. The image of crowded rooftops is juxtaposed the image of empty rooftops and the roads. As in the previous slide we have discussed that rain also acted as a negative agent, as it creates a scene of misery and works in changing the mood of the poem. The patriot is walking through the town and is bleeding and in pain. The reference to the safety in God's abode ends the poem on an upbeat note, as the imagery is in positivity and optimism. So all these things which we have read in the this poem, we can feel. Like when he says that somebody might have thrown a stone upon my forehead, we can feel the pain, that how much pain that patriot might felt when he was touching his forehead and watching the blood oozing out from his forehead. So children, let us have a recapitulation. The poem The Patriot is written by Robert Browning. This poem is a dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue is, it is a form of writing a poem in which the poet describes or writes a poem in a story form. Means here he has describing a story of a patriot in a poetic manner. The contrast in fortune, here we can see the contrast in the fortune of that patriot. Like in the beginning of the poem, in the first two stanzas, the poet was welcomed as a hero. But after 1 year, something has changed his life, and now the same person was treated by the same people who has welcomed 1 year before, and now they are treating him very badly and with very much cruelty. So their hero has become a condemned in their eyes. The person who was their hero, now after 1 year, just because of few misdeeds done by him, he is being condemned. Now they treat him as a villain. As we can see that in the poem, the roses which they were showering as to welcome that hero has converted into stones and ropes. Now they are throwing stones at him. His hands are being tied with rope. So all these things can precise one note only, that is, the life is uncertain. The one who is hero today, maybe one day that would be converted into a villain. So the one who has rise, surely one day they may get a fall. Thank you children. I hope this slides will help you to clarify your doubts regarding this poem. Stay healthy, stay fit. Have a good day everyone.